Hey guys, welcome back to Dirty Max LML. Well, we have a problem with the camper. Well, we tried turning on the water and there is no water flow. The water pump seems to be bad. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to fix it, but I do have an extra water pump on hand just in case I'm not able to fix it. At least we'll be able to swap it out.
This right here is the old shore flow water pump for the RV, and this thing just kind of took a dive. She's running, but she's not sucking up any water. I took it all apart, cleaned it out once before, and got her running again, but this time did the same thing, cleaned her out. She's not running anymore. One thing you'll find in a lot of these RVs is this head right here. Now that's the square type head, and these things are just everywhere in here, so make sure you guys have one of these square heads in your toolbox, multiple sizes, because they seem to switch it up on you and make it really difficult to switch everything out. Yeah, because this one says right here amps 7.5 max, and then the flow rate is 3 gallons per minute, and this one is 5 amps, and this one is 3.5 gallons per minute. So it's a little bit faster gallon per minute and a little less amperage, so I guess that's good. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna put this thing in basically the same vicinity that it was. I'm switching out the screws to regular Phillips head, and you really shouldn't have to worry about any water down here. It should not be getting wet down here unless you have a problem or you're changing something out. Like one of these filters right here, cleaning this thing out or trying to prime it. All right, once it's wet, just completely dry it and you should be fine. There are little bumpers, and those little bumpers are for vibration, so this thing does not make all kinds of noise when it's running. So we're just kind of snugging these up, give it a jiggle, make sure she does not shake or anything like that, make any loud noises, because this thing will be vibrating quite a bit. Okay, I'm using a little connector kit that I got from Harbor Freight. This thing is actually pretty cool, man. There's a lot of different little pieces in here, and for emergencies it works great. I'm using these tiny little connectors right here. Okay, right here you'll notice that there is red, yellow, and blue, and so basically you want to put it on the blue, and you just basically take the end and crimp it down. Doesn't have to be super tight, but those two crimps right there have now locked this together to where you can't tear it apart. Now you can go one step further and you can put shrink tube on there, which will make it waterproof. And right there, that's a blood blister. So be careful with your needle nose pliers, man, because that's what got me. But I'm going to take this end, shove it in there. Okay, now we're going to take the blue side. We're going to crimp that down, and we're going to take the blue side, crimp it down on this end. And there we have it. These things are now connected. You cannot take them apart. So now we have the SureFlow wired up. So this right here is to catch all the debris that's in your water tank, and this sometimes has to be primed. Like you can see in here, the stuff that's in there, it's little tiny pieces of plastic from when they drilled out the clean water tank to drill the hole. I guarantee you that's what that plastic is from. I need to clean this thing out, and then once we do clean it, we'll put this thing back together, and I'll actually tilt this to where it's up like this, so that you can pour water down there, and that water will drain all the way down this tube into the water tank, which then primes the tank. So when you turn the pump on, it's not sucking up a bunch of air, it's actually sucking up water. And it will have a little bit of air bubbles in there, but once you run it for about a minute, all the air bubbles should come out. These threads, you really want to make sure you do not force these threads. If you try putting this thing on and it doesn't feel right, back it out and try it again, because you're most likely cross-threading if you feel resistance. It should slide on fairly easy until you get to the end. Then once you get to the end, You want to make sure it's a decent hand tight. I just pulled out. This is all plastic shavings. You know, it almost looks like a spider on the video, but it's not. It's all plastic shavings that are stuck in here. Those plastic shavings come from when they drill the hole out. Basically, right here you can see all these tubes go into the water tank hole, and that hole is cut. And when it is cut, there's plastic pieces that go in there. So make sure you definitely have one of these, otherwise that stuff will get into your water pump and it will destroy it immediately. Okay, now we just connected the electrical, and we also reconnected the battery. What you want to do is, when you are priming, you want to make sure that this hose is slightly tilted down, and you want to make sure that this hose is as low as it can go. Okay, some nice fresh water. Okay, some nice fresh water. Okay, as you can see, all those bubbles are coming out. Okay, looks like we are pretty topped off here. We're gonna take our filter here that we cleaned, and basically I'm just gonna take this and tighten it up. It goes on nice and easy, really smooth. And now we're gonna just kind of hand tighten it, not too tight, just tight enough. All right, so the moment of truth, man. I'm really hoping this is gonna work. We've done everything right, done everything properly. The fuse is still good, so let's cross our fingers and see how it goes. Wow, it worked. I am super excited, man. Not that I was shocked that I didn't think it was going to happen, but okay. So now that we have that, let's see if we have any water flow. There it is, guys. Might as well just... tons of water bubbles inside here. Just trying to get those out first. Definitely need to clean all this up since the last camping trip. You know, you get so tired, you just kind of leave things the way they are, and then you pick a day to come back and actually clean up the RV before you head out the next time. But we're definitely going to clean this up. Okay, so this pump, I have to say, is a little louder than our other pump. Okay, one thing that I did want to show you is that we attached this up here. I'm going to have to find a shorter screw so that later on this won't be sticking out and hanging out. It's just, that's all I have at the moment. But all of these right here are now elevated to where they're not going to get any water on them. And another thing to note is that with this SureFlow, it is a lot louder. And it does vibrate quite a bit more, but I've noticed that the flow rate is a lot better. In fact, we used to, if two people were washing their hands, one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom at the same time with the water pump only, you would get really low water pressure. Right now, just with a little bit of testing, I was able to run actually the shower, the bathroom faucet, and the kitchen faucet at the same exact time, and actually got fairly decent water pressure. Okay, now we have completely cleaned out the entire area. You definitely want to make sure the entire area is clean. And also, if you have any holes or gaps or cracks, you definitely want to fill them. They make all different kinds of this stuff. I don't really know if it really makes a difference, but what I'm going to be doing is it's not too hard to cut this stuff away. So I'm going to add this crack filler just a little bit, and this will basically expand. And if I ever need to get in here again, this stuff you can pretty much just break it off, or you can cut it off a little bit. Okay, we've come back to check the foam, the great stuff. Yep, she's all hard, ready to go. No rodents are going to be able to get in here. No spiders, no bugs. We've left the area really clean, and we've also elevated the electrical so that no water, if water does kind of spit out, it's not going to get into those connectors. And everything's looking good, man. One thing I wanted to point out was the noise. It is a little bit louder than the last one, but I have to say, for the flow rate that I have now, it's well worth it. 2 people could actually use the water at the same time now. There is an outside kitchen with an outside sink, you know, with the restroom and the regular kitchen sink, plus the faucet water in the bathtub and shower. So with the toilet, so with all of those components that could possibly be working at the same time, the better water flow is definitely needed, because previously only having the 3 gallon per minute, and it's kind of crazy because we had a 3 gallon per minute. This is only a 3.5 gallon per minute, so it's only a 0.5 difference, and I'll tell you, it is a big difference. Well, hopefully I was able to help one of you guys out there on the YouTubes. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see future videos, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks.